It says make sure the coefficient of x squared is 1, if not divide it out. The coefficient is 2, so that means everybody gets divided by 2 all the way across, because it's an equation. What you do to one side you must do to the other. So you'll end up with x squared plus 4x plus 5 halves equals 0 divided by 2 is 0. Now, variables on the left, numbers or constants on the right. So x squared plus 4x equals negative 5 halves. Complete the square on the variables. So x squared plus 4x, and that's equal to negative 5 halves. And I'm going to take the coefficient of x, which is 4, divide it by 2 and square it. This is 2 squared, or 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides.
Where's the 4?
Coefficient of x.
Just kidding. I don't even know. I'm just kidding.
So that x plus 2, the quantity squared, equals. Now, here's the problem. I can't bring 5 halves and 4 together because they don't have the same denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply 4, this is 4 over 1, by 2 over 2 to put it into halves. So this is going to be negative 5 over 2 plus 8 over 2.
Can you move it over?
So that x plus 2 squared equals minus 5 over 2 plus 8 over 2 is 3 over 2. Then you're going to use the square root property to solve. So you take the square root of both sides, x plus 2 squared. Don't forget the plus or minus, square root of 3 halves. Or that x plus 2 is plus or minus the square root of 3 halves. Or that x equals minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 3 halves. Now that's an okay answer as it stands. You could even give me a numerical answer, but that's not satisfactory for your book. Why would this not be satisfactory as far as your book is concerned? What would they like about it? What does it have?
Plus or minus.
The plus or minus is fine. What doesn't it?
Negative.
The square root.
The square root, and where's the square root going to be? So if you think about it, I'm going to move this over here. The square root of 3 halves is the square root of 3 over the square root of 2, is it not? And what do we have? We have a radical in the denominator, right? And your book doesn't like that. Well, most math books still don't like it. So what would you need to do? You would need to rationalize the denominator. As this is a square root, it's easy to do. Just multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2 itself. So this becomes the square root of 6 over the square root of 4, which is a square root of 6 over 2. So your book then would rewrite this as x is minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 6 over 2. And then from here to here, what we did, we rationalized the denominator. Yep, book doesn't like it.